from the Boat, episode 62. I hope you're very well this week, and I have more tunes for you this week, but first I want to thank those of you that wrote in and named last week's tunes. I had some really super names, and it's really difficult, and I feel really bad having to make a decision and not being able to choose all of them because they're so good. There are two tunes, so I'm just going to read you a few of some of the really cool names. The first one was the hardest one for me to make a decision on, definitely. Okay, so some really good ones. I really liked from David Rowland's The Turning Tide because it has that minor and then major section, so that one seemed really fitting. And there's a really pretty name, Winter Butterflies in Spring, which I thought was really lovely. And As the Hair Leaps from Sean O'Leary, that was really pretty, and lots of really good names. And so the one that I thought fitted it, because it's kind of a twisty and kind of crooked tune, was the Crooked Spire, which Michelle Mell suggested. The Crooked Spire refers to the church spire in Chesterfield, and it's really quite cool for a few reasons. So what's happened to this church spire, it was built in the 14th century, and that also feels it's a little bit later inspired than that, the tune, but I don't know, somehow the church spire sort of seemed to fit with it for me. And because this church spire is twisted in a really cool way, I would urge you to look up the Crooked Spire and find it. So what's happened is that because the church spire is made of lead, it's covered in lead, actually 33 tons of lead, and because lead contracts and expands with heat, the south side of it contracted and expanded more than the north side because that's catching the sun. So over time, it's gradually twisted and leaned and become a crooked spire. Or at least that's the boring reason. There's some really good folk tales associated with it as well, so I'm going to tell you a couple. One of them is that the devil was sitting on the church spire and he had wrapped his tail around it, and then they rang the church bells and he jumped up in fright, but because his tail was still caught around it, it twisted it. And another one, also devil related, is that the devil gave a really big sneeze whilst he was there, and that caused it to twist. So thank you, Michelle, and thank you everyone for suggesting. And the second tune, this one was a little bit easier. There's loads and loads of really cool names. Fita, I really liked Lady Anchoress, that's really sweet. And Dancing with My Love from Kenneth Rooley, it's really nice. And Roundup from Roy Chilton. And what have we got? Chris Mitchell said a hornpipe ode. Oh no, I think that was for the first one. Oh, Dance of the Fairy Queen. Yeah, there's some really sweet ones here. The one that I went with was widdershins because it's a word I really like, and I always use the terms day still and widdershins. Widdershins means anti-clockwise, and it just seemed to reflect the way that you would dance the 5/4 waltz, where you're just spinning in different directions all the time. So the Crooked Spire and widdershins. Thank you very much, everyone. That was a lot of fun, actually. Okay, today I have decided it is January, and so it is time to do our exercises. That is finger exercises. And I've come up with some two tunes, which are Swedish tunes on nyckelharpa here, and they're very technical. They are really fun, really sweet tunes, but they are also in what I like to call the squeakosphere. And the squeakosphere is this area up here. So they're going pretty high, and there's a lot of notes basically. So these polskas are from the 18th century. They are written by Byss Calle, and Byss Calle, as you may remember from a previous episode, also worked on a barge. So he's my boating, nyckelharpa playing, composing friend from the 18th century, and he's written two super cool tunes, which we're going to play today.